Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, brothers and sisters and Islam. How are we? How are you? How is you? How is? How are? What is the? We say how is or how are? I don't know. I think how are. How are you, brother and sister? Very important discussion today. Some of you may know I've just returned from Turkey myself. Oh, let me put this down. I've just returned from Turkey, and we have an important discussion to talk about. I've been asked to do more videos on money, as this is an essential component of becoming a high value man, of becoming a top 10% man, of separating yourself from the rest of the herd. We can't escape this as men. The burden of performance is upon us. It is what it is. It's an unsavory reality of life. And so I have obliged you, and I'm going to be bringing on. I wanted to bring him on the stream, but we've been unable to for whatever reason. I don't know if it's his internet connection or something that's going on his end. But regardless, the way I'm going to be doing this is I am literally going to be interviewing him. Hey, don't cuss my hat, bro. Big man thing. This is a big man hat. I'm going to be interviewing him over my phone, inshallah. Okay, so over my phone, I will be bringing him on. So I'm going to unmute him. He can't hear us right now. Uthman, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How are you, brother?
I'm good, alhamdulillah. I'm very good. I've just introduced you to the audience. So for those of you who are just joining now, Uthman, mashallah, I met Uthman whilst I was out there in Turkey myself. He's an MBA graduate from the University of Missouri in America, Mississippi. Oh, no, Missouri, my bad. And sorry, the Webster University, which is in Missouri.
Yes.
Correct? And
Yes,
he himself,
exactly.
mashallah, is fluent in 5 languages. Am I correct in saying that?
Yeah, you can say that.
Urdu, Hindi, Punjabi, Turkish, and English. And he is somewhat of we could say, a real estate guru, especially from a perspective of the actual hard knowledge of the on-the-ground information in Turkey right now. He's in Turkey. He's based out of central Istanbul. And I thought it would be appropriate to put Uthman's feet to the fire and ask some very difficult questions. And that's what we are going to be doing today. This is not going to be an easy conversation, Uthman. I hope you're prepared, inshallah.
I hope I live up to your expectations.
Good. So can you give the audience a brief background and introduction about yourself, Akhi?
Actually, my name is Usman Ali. I am from Pakistan. I have been living here in Turkey for the past 3.5 years. I have been in this real estate business for the past 1.5 years. And before, for 2.5 years, I was in Ankara. I moved to Istanbul last year, actually. And I'm now fully focused on this business, real estate, because it's a booming market in Turkey, in Istanbul especially. And I'm looking forward to explore this market more and more.
Right. Now, you mentioned that it's a booming market. And I've heard this statement many times on different countries. Oh, Dubai is a booming market. Oh, Pakistan is a booming market. Oh, so on. Every market seems to be a booming market. What makes Turkey different? Why is Turkey genuinely considered to be a booming market?
There are several reasons for this. For that, first of all, Dubai was a booming market. Now in Dubai there is a saturation. They have reached a saturation in Dubai. I'm not going to compare Turkey. I'm not going to compare Turkey with Dubai. But why you call Turkey nowadays a booming market? Because of the fact that in 2018, the Turkish government changed its policy to hand over the citizenship, the Turkish passport. The previous policy was if you invest $1 million in Turkey, then you will be eligible for getting Turkish citizenship. They have reduced that amount from $1 million to $250,000. First thing. Second thing, as you know, the Middle East is in chaos. So a lot of
What type
people
of chaos are we
want to move
talking
to,
about? You said the Middle East is in chaos. What type of chaos?
like, for example, you take Syria, Jordan, then Iran. I give you an example of Iran. Iran is not entirely in chaos, but there are so many sanctions on Iran. So the people of Iran cannot move out of Iran, or they cannot get European or Canadian or American visa so easy. Like, it's impossible for them to get the American or Canadian or European visa on their passport. So what they are doing is, the rich people in Iran, they are selling their property, or if they have sufficient funds, they are buying property in Turkey. They're getting the citizenship within 4 months after completing the full payment.
4 months?
And they are getting, 4 months. The official period of getting your nationality is 4 months. If you complete your investment of $250,000, let's suppose I complete my investment tomorrow. I pay full $250,000. After that, it will take 4 months to get my passport, Turkish passport. After that, what they do, they apply for European visa. They get it easily, and they move to other countries.
Okay, so why is that relevant to Turkey being a booming market? Okay, I understand that's great for them. You know, they can get their passports on, but most of my audience are British, American. They already have passports that are stronger than the Turkish passport. So how does that concern and benefit them? What's in it for them?
Actually, the thing is that that is my second point. I am coming towards that. The people of Europe, or who have Canadian passport or American passport or UK's passport, they don't need Turkish citizenship. For them, what is important, that because Pakistanis, Afghanis, Iranis, and from Middle East, people are looking for citizenship, and they are buying property in Turkey like hotcakes. So what these people from UK, Europe, or Canada or America can do is to invest in Turkey, not for the citizenship, but for the investment purpose. What they will do is they will invest in Turkey. They will wait. The rest of invest in an under construction project, right?
So the best, hold on, you just cut out. So let me just repeat. Let me repeat that. So you mentioned that the best type of investment to invest in is a project that is under construction. What does that mean for those people who don't even know what that means? What does that mean?
For example, I'll make myself clear with the help of examples. Like the project. Let's suppose there is a construction going on. There is a project. The delivery date of the project. First thing, let me tell you that when you were in Turkey, we showed you as well that the construction in Turkey is really, really, really fast. Faster than UK, faster than anywhere in the world.
And why is that? How are they so fast in constructing? And is it safe? Okay, they're building fast, but is it safe?
Yes, it is safe because, sorry for asking you this. I want to ask you, in what context you are asking? Is it safe? In what context? Like security-wise, or for the completion of the project?
I mean, like the building. Is it safe to build buildings fast? Like, I don't know anything about construction. So is it safe to build these buildings as fast as they are building them? Especially if we consider that Istanbul is not far from Izmir, which is on the North Anatolian fault line, which just so happens to be the most active earthquake fault line in the world. So is it safe that they are building these buildings so quickly, number one? And number two, are they earthquake resistant?
Yes, they are earthquake resistant. You have to comply by the rules, and all the buildings, all the construction going on right now in Istanbul are earthquake compliant. So you have to follow the instructions from the government, and government officers come and regularly check the materials that they are using, and are they following the rules and stuff. So it is the construction is fast, yet it is safe and sound.
Okay. And you see, I can see one of the comments here that Turkey is due for an earthquake. I know myself personally that Izmir suffers from tremors, like small tremors, on an annual, yearly basis. But scientists do predict that within the next 75 years, It's a long timeline, but within the next 75 years, the likelihood of Izmir suffering from another major earthquake, is 95%. So, as an investor looking in, okay, fine, we say within the next 75 years, what type of guarantees does an investor have for their property if they're going to build in an area like Istanbul, which is not in Izmir, fine, it's 100 kilometers away from it, but still it could be affected.
Who told you it's 100 kilometers away? It's 600 kilometers away or 500 kilometers away.
Oh,
from
my
Izmir.
bad.
It's
My
a
bad.
long distance.
Right. Okay.
So 500. You remember last year there was an earthquake near Izmir.
Yes,
But
correct.
nothing happened in Istanbul. Nothing. It was a huge earthquake. There were so many buildings collapsed in Izmir.
Yeah.
But nothing happened in Istanbul. I was in Istanbul. I didn't even feel there was an earthquake. So actually, these things cannot determine the outcome of the investment. First of all. Second, if let's suppose you invested in a project and God forbid, an earthquake happened, they have a backup insurance plan. See, if a building collapses, first of all, it won't collapse because it is earthquake compliant.
Right.
And if it collapses, the insurance company will pay for you.
Interesting. So does that insurance have to be taken out privately, as you as an investor will have to insure? No? Okay.
No. The construction company insures its project before starting the project.
Fascinating. Okay, very interesting. Now, I do know from having done my own research that the buildings in Turkey in general, I suppose, but in Istanbul, they are earthquake resistant up to 9.3 Richter scale earthquake, I believe. And I don't think we've ever experienced. There's no earthquake on record that has been that high. I believe the highest we've ever had is in Japan, 9.1 on the Richter scale, and Turkey itself has not gone over 8.
I mentioned the earthquake that happened last year. It was around 6.5 something. So 9.3 is a very high, very huge number. No other country other than Japan have reached that number yet. And Allah forgives, Allah saves us. No one experience that in future, I hope.
I mean, okay, well that leaves that then. But then we have another important point as well, and that is there is great concern around the lira, which is the Turkish currency, the tele, I think you guys call it, right? And obviously the lira has suffered from a lot of inflation. And for those of you guys who are not familiar with what inflation means, inflation simply means that the value of your currency, the buying power of your currency diminishes. For example, if you think back to ask your parents in the 1980s, fish and chips used to cost 50p. Today, fish and chips cost around £10. That's inflation. The value of the pound has diminished. All currencies suffer from inflation. All fiat currencies, that means all man-made currencies, suffer from inflation. However, due to political factors, geopolitical factors, and so on, the rate of inflation can increase or decrease accordingly. And the Turkish lira has suffered from heavy inflation over the past few years. So as an investor coming in, Uthman, I know that my pound or my dollar has a lot of buying power right now. It's strong. The problem is, once I do buy, my concern is that now I have a property that is going to be, its value is in lira. And if I hold on to that property and I want to resell it afterwards, then I could lose money as a result of inflation. How would you address that concern amongst potential investors?
First of all, there are many ways to counter this currency depreciation. First of all, let's suppose I have a solution for this. If you're an investor, right? You invest in. That's why I focus and I always stress on this point that you should go for an under construction project. You should go for an under construction project. Yeah, I know this is a difficult decision to take. How can you trust the company that it will be completed and stuff? There are other measures to take. But if you take proper measures and you read about the market and everything, you should go always for an under construction project at a very beginning stage. at the start of the construction. Let's suppose there is a construction going on and it has just started 3 months into the project. You will invest, let's suppose you invested $100,000 today.
Mm-hmm.
And you bought a property like 3+1 apartment, 3+1 with 3 bedrooms and 1 living room. Okay, at this price, at a very cheap price. Now you have to just wait for 1.5 to 2 years for the project to get completed.
Mm-hmm.
The projects, as I told you, in Turkey gets completed in maximum 2.5 years. So it's not a very long-term investment, right? 1.5 year is not a very long-term investment. By the time the project will get completed, you can sell the same apartment at $250,000, not to a Turk, but to a foreigner who is looking for a Turkish citizenship. So that's how you can make money.
So my immediate question is,
Yes.
how do I go about I've bought a property under construction. Now the property is worth more 24 months later, but I have no idea how to find the buyer. Now, without mentioning any specific company names, we're keeping this anonymous. We're not giving any companies any clout right now. But how would one find a customer to sell the property to?
Actually, when you are buying, this is the second step. That if you trust a company, you said I'm not disclosing the name of the company, which company we are talking about. There are project marketing companies in Istanbul. There are 15 of them. If you have a good research about the market and you have good connections in Turkey, or you trust someone, or you find someone trustworthy, you can find one of these best project marketing companies, and what they'll do is that they assure you that they will give you guarantee, and through them you will you will invest in the project, right? Via them, if you trust them. So they will take care, they will make sure that the project is safe and sound, and it will be completed at a given time period. First thing. Second thing is that what they are going to do is that they will sell your apartment for you when the project will get completed. No, it's not your headache. It will be their headache. They will take some commission from you and they will sell it for you.
Fascinating.
So it won't be your headache. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Now, a lot of the concern. This sounds good so far, but a lot of people have heard or know someone who has invested in Turkey in the past in a construction company, and then construction got underway, and then for whatever reason, the construction company was unable to complete the build, but to the loss of the customer, and the customer now is unable to recoup his investment, is unable to get back his investment that he put into this build. So what security measures have been put in place to ensure that the customer does not have his money, that the construction company does not run away with the money of the customer should something happen to the construction company?
I got it. First, I will. I have a question from you. The thing is that you are saying that some of the investors invested in Turkey and the building stopped midway. Can you precisely tell me in which year they did this?
This was a few years ago. This was a few years ago. We're talking like 2015, 2016.
That's what my point is. That in 2018, Turkish government came up with the rule. It's the law now that if you have to start a construction, you should have a specified degree related to construction. Your construction company should be registered. Secondly, you have to show the budgets.
You have to show the what? You have to show the what?
The whole budget
of
the construction in the bank to the government. Then they will approve your they will give you permit to construct this apartment or this building. So secondly, if you don't have the budget right now, you will have to show them bank guarantee, and bank will only give you guarantee if your company is credible. What does this mean, this bank guarantee? If the project stops midway, this is bank's responsibility to complete the project. So the customer or the investor in any case is safe. These are the measures that the Turkish government took in 2018 after the things that you said that some of the projects stopped midway and stuff.
So
Now,
just to
no
recap,
projects,
just to recap, it sounds,
yeah.
correct me if I'm wrong, but are you saying that construction companies in Turkey cannot begin a build without having the full budget of the construction already in a bank to show that they have the money,
exactly,
or having a bank slip guarantee? And to get a bank slip guarantee, you have to have shown that you already have a stellar reputation, a gold reputation, before you would even qualify for that. Is that correct?
Yes, exactly. If you want to go to buy a telephone from a bank, bank will give you a loan for a telephone. No, they will ask you so many questions. They will check your credibility. They will check your credit card history and stuff. So this is just for buying an iPhone. It's a small amount of loan. Now imagine the bank is going to give you millions and billions of dollars. How would they give you this much guarantee? They will see something. So your credibility of the company becomes imperative for the bank. So if you have a good reputation, good credibility, then only they will give you the bank guarantee. Which means if bank is giving the bank guarantee, it means the company is reputed one and it has a good credit history. And they didn't default before. So it gives you guarantee it gives you how can I say that it
peace of mind
gains investors. Yeah, it gives you peace of mind and it gains investors trust beforehand. That's what my point is.
Okay. All right. So this all sounds good. So essentially these are guarantees, protections that have been set up and put in place to benefit the investor, because like I said, people have been burnt in the past, and this is a serious concern that I've heard raised time and time again.
Yes, not only the investor. Now, Turkish government is they are selling the citizenships like hotcakes. So they want to make sure that the consumer or the client who is coming to buy in Turkey, they don't fear about these things. And if they are going to invest in an under construction project, they don't have sleepless nights. They can rest assured that our money is safe and sound, and in a given period of time, we'll have our apartment in our hand and we'll have the keys and everything.
Okay, very good. All right. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So I want to ask you a question then. What makes Turkey a superior destination or country to invest in comparison to, say, for example, Dubai? Or I can't think of it. Dubai mainly comes to mind. It's front of mind because I've had my own investment interest in Dubai in the past, and it's a destination that people frequently talk about. So let's compare it to Dubai. Let's give a direct comparison. Why, in your view, if you believe this in the first place, is Turkey a superior place to invest in than, say, Dubai?
Let's suppose you want to invest in Dubai. How much money you need? This is a question I want to ask you. How much money, minimum money that you need to invest?
That's a good. You're gonna need a couple of $100,000 at least.
Couple of $100,000.
Dollars. Yes, dollars.
I'll give you $400,000. Buy me an apartment in Dubai, please. Invest for me.
Say that again.
Become my broker. I'll give you $400,000. Invest for me in Dubai and give me some guarantee as well. Would you do that?
I personally wouldn't invest in Dubai. I've got my own reasons, but I want to know you. Why? What makes Turkey? So, and I will tell you my reasons as well afterwards for the benefit of the audience as well, because I know a few things, insider information about what's going on in Dubai right now. But I want to know from you, because you're supposedly the real estate expert on the floor, on the ground, I should say, in Turkey right now. So me, as let's say I'm an investor, my audience are watching, they're potential investors. Why should they consider investing in Turkey over Dubai? When you consider, for example, like I mentioned, the earthquake risk, although we've gone over it, the inflation risk, although we've gone over it, and why Turkey? Why Turkey over Dubai?
I tell you why. Because you mentioned I have a couple of $100,000 to invest in Dubai. You cannot find an apartment in this price in Dubai, first of all. Second of all, is that construction in Dubai is very slow. Not that much slow, but slower than Turkey. So you will have to, if you invest like $400,000-$500,000 in first place in Dubai, you will have to wait for like 4 years, 5 years, and even sometimes they give you 50 years installment plans in Dubai. Right?
Wow.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
I don't know, but I've never heard of that. I can't say. I don't know. That's the first time I'm hearing that.
There are some projects that are giving you 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. Why? Because the prices in Dubai are unaffordable. First thing. Now you give me $400,000 that you are going to invest in Dubai. I will give you 4 apartments at initial stage in Istanbul. Okay, like in the beginning stage of construction. Now with that $400,000, after 2 years, you can at least make $700,000. That's a very conservative figure that I'm giving you. So that after you don't ask me, Usman, you said $1 million. Where is my $1 million? You only paid $900,000. So that's why I'm giving you a conservative. So let's suppose $400,000 you invested. After your 2 years, you are getting $700,000. So it's a bad investment. You are getting almost 80% or 85% profit. So
I mean, that's unheard of in real estate. I want to add to that as well. In real estate terms, that's unheard of. For those of you who are not familiar with real estate, 80% returns in 2 years is unheard of. Now I know you guys are thinking, oh, but crypto, you get 100x, bro. Apples and oranges. It's not the same thing. Yeah. And the funny thing is, all of the crypto guys are taking their profits and putting it right back into real estate. 75% of all the millionaires on this planet have their fingers in a real estate pie. All the roads lead to real estate. Why? Because not only do you need land and property to live in, but you need land and property to put your companies in. Crypto need big warehouse places for their big things. I don't know what they call them. All the roads lead to real estate. So don't compare apples and oranges.
And what if Elon Musk says again that I don't accept cryptocurrency? Then what will happen? It will then again crash from $55,000 to $35,000 or even $30,000. Then we will have to wait again and beg Elon Musk again to start accepting cryptocurrency. So there is no surety, Arnie.
I mean, that's a good point. And what I will say add to that is that in crypto in general, the upside is much higher. But with any investment, the higher the upside, the higher the risk. Now, I've got friends who have made like millions in crypto. Allahu Barak. So I don't have anything negative to say about crypto. And all I will say to the audience is that if you are going to get into crypto, make sure you know your ish. Okay? Don't come and say, oh, Fulan said to me to invest in, I don't know, whatever the new hot crypto is. That's called blind following. That's called gambling. If you're going to do crypto, make sure you do it properly. I don't do crypto because I know nothing about it. Nothing about it. When people ask me, I say to them, bro, I don't know nothing about it. I'm not in crypto. I don't disbelieve in it. I believe there's the currencies of the future. And there's a lot of money to be made. But where there is a lot of money to be made, there is a lot of money to be lost. So if you don't know what you're doing, better for you to stay away completely. Yes, Othman, please continue.
And another thing is, if you tell me to invest in crypto, I won't, because where is crypto? Crypto is somewhere in the air, in the clouds. I don't have anything to touch or something like that. It is not tangible. It is intangible. But property is tangible. It's in front of your eyes what you bought, what is it going on and stuff. So always human nature, a human is made up like this, that they are risk averse. They like avoiding risk. They are not risk takers until and unless you are a gambler, right? And how many of us are gamblers? Only 5% or 2% or 3% are gamblers. But majority of humans are risk averse by nature. They don't want to indulge into things that are so risky. So this is my point. So
100. No. I hear that. And I wanted to add as well to the audience watching right now, just to give you a bit of background on the situation in Dubai. And I've heard from insider information. I'm giving you insider information right now, okay? From guys who are running the show, in Dubai. So let's just leave it at that. I'm not going to say anymore. That the situation, 40% or 45% of all the world's cranes are in one country, the tiny little island called Dubai. Remember that, okay? 40% of all the world's cranes are in Dubai. Dubai is in a situation right now where they are so overdeveloped that it is crushing, hurting their housing, the economy, the housing economy there. Why? It's a simple case of oversupply to the point where construction companies, developers, because they've got such a massive oversupply of property, they are renting out the apartments that they own to themselves and paying rent on it just so that they can write on paper, yes, we have 60% occupancy, 70% occupancy, which makes it a more desirable prospect to real customers coming in because nobody wants to move into a ghost town. But this is what's going on. They have developed to the point now where developers are renting their own apartments to themselves to create a false sense of demand. That is a bubble. That's a bubble. We've got 53 of you in here right now. Please hit that like on your way on. Barakallahu feekum. Yes, Uthman. Sorry, please continue.
And further enhance your point is that in Dubai, Dubai is saturated. Plus, it's an artificial beauty. It doesn't have anything natural over there. In Istanbul, in Turkey, you will find so many places or natural beauty you will find in Istanbul. And people are inclined to come to Istanbul, especially the people from Arab countries like UAE and Middle East and stuff. So the second thing is that let's suppose if you invest in Dubai, will you find will you be able to resell your property again after 2, 3, 4, 5 years? You will have to wait so much to find a customer to sell your property because the property is so expensive out there. So you will have to look for a person who is willing to invest in Dubai again. See, and second-hand property. Whereas in Dubai, Istanbul, you have greater opportunity to resell it. Why people are dying to get Istanbul nationality nowadays? Especially, as I mentioned, you Pakistanis, Afghanis, Iranis, and there are people from Middle East who. And another point I wanted to tell you that people from Syria cannot buy property in Turkey. They have kept them as a last resort. There are 1 million people in Syria waiting in queue to get Turkish nationality via investing in Turkey. But Turkey hasn't opened this facility for the Syrians. Why? Because Turkish government is very smart. When they will see that no one is buying property in Turkey, they will use this last resort. There are 1 million people waiting in queue in Syria to buy property in Turkey and get their citizenship.
So are you saying to me that the Syrians can't buy property right now? Is that what you're saying? They're not allowed to buy property in Turkey?
Yes. No, they cannot buy property in Turkey. They cannot get Turkish citizenship via this route of buying property in Turkey. They're not allowed. If you are Syrian, you cannot.
So a Syrian national cannot buy property in Turkey, just to clarify.
Exactly. That's what my point is. And the things that you told about Dubai, that you have to struggle very hard to find another customer to resell your apartment again, because it's already so expensive. You bought in an under construction project in Dubai, right? You bought at a cheaper price. Let's suppose, as you mentioned, okay, I believe that you can find an apartment in Dubai at $200,000. Okay, I believe you. But in an under construction project, when the project will get completed, that $200,000 apartment will become $700,000, $800,000. The amount of inflation in Dubai is. So how are you going to sell that apartment? To whom? You will have to struggle. And you have to do a lot of research, or you have to wait for a long time to resell your apartment. Whereas the solution that I gave you, or is going on in Turkey, is that you invest in an under construction project. First of all, it is cheaper than Dubai, $100,000. Okay, you invested. You wait for 1.5 years, 2 years, and you can sell it for citizenship. And there are people who are waiting in queue to get to invest in citizenship. In Istanbul, in Turkey.
So you can sell citizenship?
Yes.
How does that work? How does that work?
I tell you why. Because now all my points come to this. The common point that I am using is that invest in an under construction project. Why? Because for European people, for the people who are living in UK have British passport, they don't care about Turkish passport.
Right.
So people, why?
Hold on, Othman, hold on. I just want, for those of you in the comments, Othman made it quite clear. For British people, don't care for the most part about getting a Turkish passport, although it's very useful to have another passport, by the way. Don't turn your nose up at another passport. However, it's not a primary concern, shall we say, than if you came from the developing world. But please continue, Othman.
Yes. So what my point is that you are different. The people who are living in UK who have European passport or Canadian passport or American passport or UK passport, you guys are different than Middle East. I'm not being a racist or something like that, for God forbid. And I'm just saying that your needs are different than the needs of the people of Pakistan or Iran or Middle East. Why? They want to move to Turkey to get the citizenship. They're not looking for investment. So for them, investing in an under construction project is not that much easy as compared to the guys who is going to invest from UK, because he's not looking for the citizenship. He doesn't have to live here in Turkey, so he can wait for 1.5 years. On the other hand, the person who is investing from Middle East, he needs to invest $250,000 at first place in order to get the nationality. And if he moves to Turkey, he needs some place to live there, right? So he cannot invest in an under construction project. So that's why if you invest in an under construction project, just starting like 4 or 5 months old, so what you can do is that the title deed will not be transferred on your name by the time that construction is completed.
Why is that relevant? Why is that relevant? I know you know why that's relevant, but why is it relevant that the title deed is not on your name yet? Why is that important? And furthermore, what's the title deed?
The title deed, I think it's you have in UK as well, that the title deed, the ownership of the property is transferred to your name from the person who already owns it. I think I made my point clear. Okay. It's clear enough, right? Yeah. You understood or no? Or I should elaborate?
Yeah, please do elaborate, because a lot of people don't understand this stuff. Please do.
This title deed, they don't understand this title deed.
Yeah, please elaborate.
So let's suppose this, I have an apartment, right? You bought an apartment from me at $100,000. Okay, I kept on repeating this $100,000 because it's easy to comprehend this information.
Sure.
So you gave me $100,000 and you bought an apartment from me. Now that apartment needs to be transferred on your name. Otherwise, who will believe that the apartment is yours? Fine. So the process of transferring the ownership from my name to your name is called title deed transformation. So this is called title deed. That official document that now I don't own this property. Mahdi owns this property. This is called title deed. Okay. Good. Fine.
Yep, I'm with you.
Okay. So in an under construction project, you don't get a title deed because you are investors. What it actually, in my point of view, this is an advantage for you. Why? Because for Turkish citizenship, this is a condition that you have to buy a property or a land or an apartment from a Turk, not the Turk that has got the passport after citizenship, not that Turk. Original Turk, by blood, he should be Turk. He should be born as Turk.
Right.
Okay? So, let's suppose you bought a property, title deed is not on your name because you are not Turk. So, after the completion of the project, you can use that property for citizenship purposes, and it will always be sold at a higher price for $250,000. You understand my point? What I'm trying to say?
Yes.
Because you don't have the ownership or title deed on your name, so you can use that property for Turkish citizenship and sell it to someone from Middle East or someone from Pakistan, from Iran, and you can get higher profits.
So are you telling me that you can sell the citizenship to someone from Iran or Pakistan? Is that what you're saying?
No, you cannot sell the citizenship. You can sell the apartment that is eligible or suitable for Turkish citizenship.
Okay.
Because that apartment has to fulfill this condition or requirement. Because you cannot, let's suppose I am not original Turk, I am Pakistani. I own a property here in Turkey. I hope it will get clear. It's on my name.
Right.
Now, I own a property, it's on my name. Let's suppose the value of my property is $250,000. And some person from Middle East comes and says, I want to buy your home. I give you $260,000, give it to me. I will give it to him. But it will not serve his purpose because Turkish government will say, you bought the property from a Pakistani, although he has a citizenship or Turkish passport, but he is not from his bloodline. He is Turk. He's not original Turk.
I understand.
You have to buy from an original Turk. So that's what my point is, that the property or the apartment, it should be eligible for Turkish citizenship in order to sell it for Turkish citizenship. You understand my point now?
I understand your point, but correct me if I'm wrong. If the project, if you want to sell the project before completion, before the title deed is given, you can do so without any complication, right?
Yes, because the ownership will be transferred on your name. But I suggest the investor that don't take the title deed on your name, so that you can sell it at a higher price. For investor, I am saying, if there is a consumer or customer from outside UK or Europe or Canada or America, they can get the title deed whenever they want, whenever they complete the full payment of the apartment. They will get the title deed right away. For the investment purpose, I am saying don't get it on your name.
Okay, fine.
In order to sell it again at a higher price.
I got you. Now, there's a question here from Rashid Khuzaima. Shout out to you, bro. Thank you for the $20 super chat. He's written here, never tell your budget to the real estate agents in Turkey because they will hike up the prices to match your budget. Is this true, Uthman? Is it true that if you tell the real estate agent what your budget is, that they will increase the price of the property so they can basically, rip you off? Is this true?
There are cutthroat competition in Dubai, in Turkey right now. There are more than 2,000 agents. You think that people are stupid? They will only go to one agent and whatever he's saying, they will buy from him. They will explore the market. They will go to different agents and they will reconcile the prices and stuff. It's not like 20 years before or 5 years. We are living in modern era and everything is on your fingertips, on your phones and everything. And plus you can get so much information and stuff. And the last thing, that another rule came in Turkey. After that, the consumer or the buyer became so much secure. The Turkish government, what they were doing before is that evaluation of the property was the people who were doing was a private company, okay, who used to come and evaluate your property. Let's suppose the property is $500,000. You can give him like 10,000 liras or something like that, bribe him and tell him to evaluate the property that is for $300,000 and tell that it is actually $500,000. It was happening before.
Right.
But now what's happening, the evaluation team is from government. The government itself comes and evaluate your property and according to the land area and what's. So all these loopholes, they are covering one by one.
I hope that answered your question. That was actually a very good answer, man. I appreciate that. Jazakallah khair. Okay, well, what else do people who might have a little bit of money, sitting at home and they don't know what to do with it? They know one thing for sure, that inflation is eating away at their money. Inflation every single year is nibbling away at the buying power of their money, right? But they don't necessarily know what to do with it. But they're watching this podcast now. And again, we're not mentioning any companies or anything like that. But what type of general recommendation would you give them if they wanted to explore the Turkish real estate market? What should they watch out for? What qualities in a company should they look for? What advice would you give?
What qualities should they look for an agency or a company to invest,
Both.
to trust, right?
Yes.
This is okay. The thing is, first of all, you should check the reputation of the company and with which construction companies they are working, first of all. And construction company, now I don't want to name anyone, but there are project marketing companies. Look at their criteria, how they choose the project. Go through that. That if they are choosing a project of a credible construction company, is the construction company that they are choosing has any bad record or they are in gray list of government or something. Second thing, do they have sufficient budget to finish their project? Third thing is that do they have a bank guarantee? Fourth, that how many of the like how many times they have repeated their business with the same construction company? Did the construction company after one time once their project has been finished renewed their contract with the company or they left them? How many continuous
repeat
associations they have
customer?
with
Yes,
repeat business? Not with the customer, with the construction company. Let's suppose I give you all the time I'm giving examples. I hope people will get bored of me. So the thing is that there is a construction company. Let's suppose it made one project. It gave its project to a marketing company, and marketing company sold the project. So the same construction company made another project, and without hesitating, it gave the project again to the same marketing company. What it means that construction company trust in that marketing company, plus there is a mutual understanding in both, and they were satisfied with each other. So if the business is repeating itself, it means that that company is reputable or it has a good credibility. These are the criteria you should look for.
Very good. That was a very comprehensive answer. Barakallah fi jazakallah khair. And you know what? I appreciate actually that we're not giving any companies any particular commendation. Even though Uthman works for a company, we're not singling out any companies at all. Why? Because I see some of you fools in the chat. Oh, he's a scammer. He's a scammer. Shut your mouths. If he was a scammer, I would have told you, oh, by the way, buy from this company. No, we're providing you with free content, not singling out any companies in particular, so that you guys can understand stuff about money. Yeah. Oh, brother, how do I find myself wife? How do I? Well, we're having a discussion here. One of those important components of being able to get married is establishing yourself financially. So for you flipping haters, shut your goddamn mouths. Pop. Yes. Let's continue. What else do the customers, do potential customers need to know? What for, in your experience as an agent yourself and dealing with investors, what advice and recommendation would you give them? For example, location. Let's talk about location. You hear the term in real estate all the time, location.
Yes.
What do people need to know about location in Turkey? Is all of Turkey just as profitable, just as the same? Are there specific areas that are more profitable than others?
Actually, Istanbul is so big. You have been to Istanbul. You have saw how big is Istanbul, and Istanbul is divided. Istanbul is like historically it is rich in history and tourism wise. In 2019, it had 36 million tourists coming from all over the world to Istanbul. 36 million.
Is that a lot? I don't know if that's a lot. Is 36 million a lot? I mean, what's that relative to the rest of the world?
36 million, for example, one whole, 36 million, let me tell you, Australia and New Zealand. All the people of New Zealand and Australia visited Istanbul.
Okay.
So two of the countries visited Istanbul in 1 year. So now you imagine. And Russians are crazy about Istanbul and Turkey in general. They come like crazy. Even if you go to Istanbul on the southern side or the Mediterranean side of Turkey, you will find even Russian written in their hotels, in their menus, and everywhere. This is how much Russians are coming to Turkey and from other countries as well. And one of the reasons why lira how Turkish lira is depreciating, is it is like they are deliberately decreasing the value of lira so that more and more tourists come in.
Who's they? Who is deliberately? And let me just explain these terms, Uthman, because the general person doesn't understand this. Depreciation of the lira, what Uthman is referring to, is lira is the Turkish currency. Depreciation means that the value of that currency is diminishing. Today, I could buy a drink for 50p. Tomorrow, that drink is 75p. Now, I can no longer buy that drink for 50p. That's what depreciation is. Now, Uthman, you just made a bold claim there. You said that the Turkish government, and correct me if I'm wrong, are deliberately allowing the lira to depreciate in value. Why on earth would they do that?
There are so many reasons about this. First of all, tourism. Because touristic country, this is Turkey, one reason. Second reason, to export their goods. More, the cheaper the lira, the more the exports they can do. Because let's suppose
you mean the cheaper the lira, the more incentivized foreign investors are to buy from Turkey.
Yes, why? You have £1, right?
Mm-hmm.
In £1, let's suppose, okay, you tell me how much is McDonald's meal over there in UK?
I don't know, maybe let me see now, £4.50, something like that.
£4.50, McDonald's cheapest
Yeah,
meal.
cheapest meal.
Here 1.5. So, what will you do? You if it was a free word and you had an option and McDonald's wasn't a perishable thing, would you buy a McDonald's meal from UK or from Turkey in £1.5? What would you do?
Turkey.
This answer first.
Well, Turkey, of course.
Obviously, if it was there were no barriers and it was free trade and stuff. So this is my point: is the same thing that you are buying in UK.
So hold on. Just to clarify, you're saying that the cheapest meal, the equivalent meal in Turkey, is the equivalent of £1.50 in McDonald's.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay, I got you.
£3 cheaper than what you are getting from UK. So this is not my point. My point is we cannot do these things. But big companies like Zara, like Adidas, like Nike, like these things, what they can do? Why they are making their products in Bangladesh? Why Apple is assembling their phones in China? Because of the difference between the currencies and cheap labor. Similarly, Turkey is decreasing their value of their lira so that more and more foreign countries buy their products and take it to their countries. You understand?
I've even heard one.
I
Yes, you made your point. And actually, I've heard this theory that the Turkish government have intentionally allowed, just as you've said, and this is just a theory. We can't prove it, but it's a theory that they've intentionally allowed the lira to really depreciate as heavily as it has.
I can arguably prove that as well, if you want.
Yeah, please do.
The point that I'm going to prove that why they are deliberately decreasing the value of lira. Now, you tell me. There were 36 million tourists in Turkey. So they were coming out from outside the country. What currency they were bringing? Pound, euro, or dollars.
Okay.
One thing.
Yeah.
This is one point. Second, they are exporting the things. Third, they are selling this Turkey citizenship as hotcakes. Like from Middle East, they are buying like crazy, and they have to invest in dollars. So if there is so much influx of dollar from outside the country, why on earth the lira is decreasing? Why? Because it's a deliberate move.
I hear that, and I do know from personal experience that since Brexit have left the EU, a lot of big companies are relocating to guess where, guys? To Turkey. It makes it's geographically well located. It makes sense from a financial point of view, and even from a taxation point of view. There's just so many benefits to relocating in Turkey. And Turkey, by the way, they make high quality products, very high quality products. It's like China, but higher quality products. It's not like some cheap crap that you're picking up from the middle of nowhere. No, they make high quality products.
Especially if you in clothing, in this textile, their clothes are out of this world. So many countries are manufacturing their clothes in Turkey. You see Zara and so many other companies. You can read the tag "Made in Turkey," "Made in Turkey," "Made in Turkey." So many big brands are making manufacturing in Turkey.
Right.
Why? Because if they manufacture in this UK, what is the minimum wage or minimum salary of after 1 month? 1,000 pounds at least, right? In Turkey, how much is minimum salary? How much is minimum salary? 3,000 liras. That is 250 pounds, 300 pounds. So many companies, especially from Europe, are moving to in Turkey in order to save money and labor cost.
And of course, all of that increase in business into the country is stimulating the economy, stimulating the value of the lira, stimulating everything, the value of property, land, and so on.
So we started this point from location, right? And we deviated from there. So the locations, Istanbul is a metropolitan, cosmopolitan city.
What does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? What does metropolitan, cosmopolitan mean?
Now you want an definition for each and everything? I don't have to.
Well, see, I'm asking you. Yeah, I mean, what does it mean? Is it like busy? Like, is it like a village? What's the meaning?
Like all financial hub of Turkey is Istanbul. All activity, trade activity, like banks, headquarters of bank, everything is in Istanbul. If you are living in another city of Istanbul, of Turkey, sooner or later you have to come to Istanbul to do something. So this is the meaning of cosmopolitan, and it has a seaport as well. So it makes it a cosmopolitan city. Because there are so many multinational companies as well as Turkish companies and stuff. It's a very busy company. So all financial activities of Turkey is happening in this Istanbul. It's a financial hub of the country.
So then, as an investor, sorry, carry on.
Yeah. So Istanbul, we have divided Istanbul into 4 or 5 different zones, basically. The first zone is historical and touristic hub of Istanbul. That is, I'm sure that you guys have heard at least Taksim Square or Blue Mosque.
The Blue Mosque. We know the Blue Mosque. The Blue Mosque we know.
The Blue Mosque. The Blue Mosque or the Hagia Sophia or Taksim Square. This is the historic or touristic hub of Istanbul. What it is, it means it has rich history. It was part of Constantinople when Sultan Muhammad conquered Istanbul 600 years back. So it has a rich history. One zone. The property in this zone is sky high. I cannot even tell you in like numbers how expensive is the property here. Second zone is the Asian side. The Bosphorus divides Istanbul into 2 halves. One half comes in Asian side and the other one is in European side. That's why Istanbul.
And just to explain, the people, what is the Bosphorus? It's the Bosphorus River. What is it? What does it do? What's its purpose?
It's not the river. It's a sea.
A sea.
It's a sea that connects two seas, Black Sea and this Marmara, the Mediterranean Sea. It's a connection between the 2 seas, and it's a trade route for sea trade route, you can call it. So it divides Asian side and European side of Istanbul. The Asian side is more luxury as compared to the European side. European side is more historical, touristic, all financial activity is going this side, but Asian side is more luxurious.
Okay, I have one question for you. In fact, 2 questions. Question number 1, where is the best place to invest in Istanbul when it comes to investing? Question number 2, where is the best place to invest in Istanbul when it comes to living?
When it comes to living, first of all, I will tell you to invest in Asian side. Or if you are filthy rich, then invest in the European side, but the best part of Istanbul. But you cannot find a property or an apartment less than $1.5 million if you are willing to live in a very good place in the European side.
And let me just explain, Othman, to the audience watching right now, because even this was news to me. In Turkey, there is a small sliver, around 10% of the country is geographically located in Europe. The rest of it is located in Asia. So when you hear Othman saying Asian side and European side, that's what he's referring to. There is a small sliver, around 10% of the country is geographically located in Europe, and the remaining 90% is geographically located in Asia.
And all these tourist and historical places are on the European side because it was part of Byzantine Empire, Constantinople, before the conquest of Istanbul. Sure. So this is my point. The property here on the European side is much more expensive, but the scenery, the view is better on the Asian side, and it is more calm and quiet, and you will have best views over there. Like forest views, sea views, Princess Island views. I cannot explain on the phone what kind of views you will have, but you will have breathtaking views. As when you were here, we showed you some of them.
Sure.
So
to answer the question from an investment point of view.
I'm continuing my point.
Sure.
For living, you should go for Asian side, but it depends on your nature as well. If you like to party, or if you want hustle, if you like hustle and bustle of the city, then you might go for. It varies from person to person. You cannot give like 100% sure answer that this person will go there, this person will go there. It depends on your preferences. But for investment point of view, if you are looking for a long-term investment, like you want rental income or ROI per month or per year, then you should invest in a touristic heart of Istanbul, that is on the European side. Why? Because you can invest, then you can put your apartment or give your apartment on Airbnb, and you on a frequent basis you can get your income in dollars. It has nothing to do with liras because so many tourists comes in Turkey. That was my point. That was the point that I was making earlier. That why it is important for an investment point of view as well. That so much tourists come to Turkey, and the figure that I gave you, 36 million, came in 2019. Why? Because if you are looking for a long-term term investment and you're looking for a rental income, you can rent your apartment or you can put your apartment on Airbnb and you can rent it out to tourists, not the tourist people. And you can get your income in euros, pounds, or dollars. So it doesn't have to do anything with the depreciation of lira. You take aside this.
Very smart. Very smart. So you earn in dollars, euros, or pounds, so you don't need to worry about the inflation or depreciation of the lira itself.
Yes.
Fascinating.
Yes. You put aside this depreciation or what is happening inside the country.
So let's say I wanted to buy a property. Go. Second thing. Go.
Yeah.
Go. Second thing.
But if you are looking for a short-term investment, like short-term, what do I mean by short-term? Within 2 years, and you want to flip up your money. Like you're not interested in rental income or each month you want a bit of chunk and stuff. You want a huge chunk, and once you get it, you will use it and you can reinvest it. Then, as I told you before, you should go for an under construction project, depending on your budget and depending on the location of the project.
Fantastic.
Then, in that case. You should go for an under construction project, but because your goal is not to get rental income and stuff, so you should invest in a residential project. So you can sell to a family or all sorts of people. Your target market or target customer won't be like a bachelor or a student or who likes to party or tourist only. You will open a horizon for you, a big horizon that any kind of family or any kind of consumer can buy your apartment. This is what my point is.
Okay.
For an investment purpose.
Question. What is the minimum investment required to be able to get started? Number one, meaning the minimum down payment. And then number two, is it halal? Is it interest free? And number three, how do the repayments work? So let's start with number one. What's the minimum amount of cash someone has to have on hand to put as a down payment to get a foothold on the real estate in Turkey? Now, I know, of course, there are some very cheap.
Again, the location comes first. Then, if you have a very small budget, like you have $20,000, $30,000, then Zone 4, as I mentioned, Beylikdüzü is one area in Istanbul. It is a self-sufficient area. It is a planned area, newly building area, but the prices are cheaper over there. So you can start your investment from $30,000 or $40,000 with initial down payment, and remaining you can pay in installments for 3 years, 2.5 years, 1.5 years, depending on your budget. Right? One thing. What was the other question? Oh, sorry,
so are the repayment system, is it interest free, or do you have to pay interest? How does that work?
No, it's not interest. It's not the bank that is going to be involved. You are going to make a contact with the company. They are not charging any markup from you. So when there is no markup, no interest, it is perfectly halal. Why? Because they are agreeing with you that we are giving you, let's suppose, the list price of the project is $2 million or $200,000. They tell you, if you pay me cash right now, I give you 15% discount, and you can buy the same apartment at $180,000 if you give me cash. This is pure crystal clear. This is. But they say, I will give you lesser discount. Let's suppose 6% discount only, and you can buy the same property at $190,000 if you want on installment. Now you tell me, where is haram inside this?
I understand.
Nothing. Everything is clear. They are not putting any markup on top of the price. Even they are giving you discount, but the discount is less when you are is more when you are paying cash or right away via your bank account, like you want to buy on the spot. Then the discount will be more. But if you want to have installment, the discount percentage will be less. Just this is the thing. So it doesn't have to do anything with interest and stuff.
Okay, fantastic. All right. And any final closing thoughts at all, Uthman? Any recommendation areas specifically? I know you mentioned areas for living. Let's say an investor wants to come in and flip a property. He wants to put his money down for a period of 18 months, 24 months, and then he wants to sell that piece of property and then make a profit on it. Which areas of Istanbul should he pay attention to? Should be something that he needs to look out for in order to benefit from this?
What is the initial investment or budget? What is his budget? Can you please mention the budget?
Sure. Let's say he's only able to put a $20,000 down payment down, which I know is the minimum that is possible with you guys. And again, guys, I'm not mentioning no companies here, yeah, for good reason. To increase the credibility of this discussion. So he has $20,000 to put as a down payment. What type of areas would you recommend for him?
The suburbs.
Such as
Beylikdüzü, we don't recommend Esenyurt, but Beylikdüzü is, as I mentioned, it's a planned area, newly built area, highly in demand for low budget families or economical families, and plus it's a self-sufficient area. Everything you will find here there: hospitals, universities, cafes, malls, transportation, everything is there. Plus it is very close to sea. You will have sea view. You have two coasts beside that area, and West Istanbul Marina on the other side. So it's a very good area, but right now it is developing, so the prices are cheaper over there.
Fantastic, brilliant. And let me just read this comment out on the screen. Highlight Daily, I appreciate this, bro. Interesting watch. Always wanted to invest in real estate in Dubai, but was always a bit skeptical. Thank you for this, Mahdi. You are most welcome, my friend, and I thank Uthman, because Uthman is the guru on this. And like I say, Uthman, mashallah, I was with Uthman in Turkey myself. I spent a good few days with him. Actually, he's more than just a colleague. He's a friend. And I really appreciated how you guys looked after me. And one thing about Uthman is that he's a calculator, and he's got the memory of an elephant. For those of you who know elephants remember their locations from like years back. They know where to go. They remember the path and everything. Uthman is like that, and that's why I wanted Uthman to come on and give you this discussion. And once again, I have to keep repeating it. We're not plugging any companies here.
I wish my camera was working and I was on the screen as well, and people would see how much I'm blushing right now.
Alhamdulillah. Here, inshallah. Any closing thoughts? Anything you'd like to leave? Some type of pearls, some type of gems that you could leave the audience with at all?
With my experience, as I mentioned before, go for an under construction project if you want to flip your money. Plus, don't put the title deed on your name. I know it's a risky thing to imagine that title deed is not on my name and someone will con me or something like that. But if you trust the company that is a mediator between you and the construction company, if you have your full trust and if you have done your market research properly and you can trust that company, what they will do for you is that you will invest. They will make a legal contract, but they won't put your money, your name on the title deed, and they will take your apartment and put it in their stock. When you will say that they will share the price, the changes in price after every 3 months, like on a quarterly basis. Every 3 months they will say that now 3 months this much percentage of construction have been completed. The price rise is this much now. The point you feel that this is my point to sell, you can give them a go ahead. You say that this is the point, this is the value I was looking for, sell it now for me. They will sell it within 1 or 2 months for you, and what it will do that it can be sold for Turkish citizenship purposes. So it will bring you more money, more profits. This is the expert or pundit opinion, if you want it from. I don't consider myself any pundit or guru of real estate, but this is what I have learned, and this is what my advice for an investor who is looking to invest in Turkey. Just this much.
Absolutely fantastic, Uthman. I really appreciate you coming on and the time that you've spent here. Jazakumullah khair. I'm going to touch base with you soon. I'm going to wrap up this podcast and then I'll touch base with you soon. Thank you so much for coming on, Uthman.
And I just wanted to apologize to the audiences because my English is not as good as the native one. So bear with me if you didn't understand.
Well, let me tell you something, bro. You speak 5 languages. I will take speaking 5 languages like this than 1 language fluently any day. So jazakallah khair, Uthman.
I would flip my 5 languages with the accent you have, actually.
Yalla habibi, look after yourself, inshallah. I'll speak to you soon.
Thank you so much, brother. Talk to you later, inshallah. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
So there you have it, guys. There you have it. And again, I will repeat it again. We have not plugged any companies. None whatsoever. Why? To increase the credibility of this podcast, because I know how you people think. I know how you think. And frankly, I think the same myself as well. My podcast, I prize it above all. Might be a tiny little thing I got going here, but I don't give a damn. Guard your reputation with your life. We've just done that law of power the other day. So if you guys want to find out more, you want to get in touch with Uthman directly, feel free to hit me up at the Red Mahdi, message me at the Red Mahdi, and I will put you through to him and you can speak to him directly. His English, his accent, his customer service is mashallah. And he's not just very passionate about what he does, but very knowledgeable. He knows everything on the ground in Turkey. On that note, barakallahu fikum, jazakumullah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.